Greetings, students, push of other genders and identities. How are you all doing? Well, as it's nearly Christmas, I thought I'd share with you my top 10 favourite Christmas movies. It was going to be a top 5, but as I was researching, it kept growing, so I thought, now it's now a top 10. My number 10 is Santa Claus the movie. It was made in 1985. It stars Dudley Moore, John Lithgow, David Huddleston, Burgess Meredith, Judy Cornwell, amongst other names, yeah. Dudley Moore plays Patch the Elf, and he wants to modernise Santa's workshop. So he brings in all this stuff, but the toys aren't 100% and he gets sent back, basically. This obviously upsets Santa and Patch basically he ends up on Earth, and he sees John Lithgow's toys, BZ toys, and he sees all their toys just like disappearing off the shelves. It's like, oh, they must be good. But what he doesn't know is those toys are actually mega like bad and like dolls stuffed with straw and nuts and bolts and stuff. So yeah, not good actually. So Patch ends up working for John Lithgow and BZ Toys, and he has actually stolen some of the magic potion that makes the reindeer fly. So he incorporates that into some like candy cane sweets for the kids for free, and basically kids eat them in the Christmas morning and oh, suddenly they can fly, which John Lithgow loves, because it's like, oh, now we can do a second one at Easter and call it Christmas 2, and so he can make more money. But yeah, things go a bit awry, and the new batch of candy canes, if they get too hot, will explode. So it ends up with a young kid that gets to know Santa and becomes friends with Santa, and they end up rescuing Patch before everything explodes, and there's a big sleigh thing and all the reindeer do their super duper thunder looper thing and rescuing it. It's all happy in the end, and Patch ends up back at the North Pole with Santa and all his friends, and the two little kids end up at the North Pole with Santa, and yeah, so okay, but it's a very tongue-in-cheek movie, but it's still enjoyable, you know. And John Lithgow as the baddie, I'm sorry, he is just absolutely excellent, brilliant. At number 9 is a little Disney film in 2019 called Noel. It stars Anna Kendrick, Bill Hader, has Santa's son and daughter. So Nick Kringle, i.e. Santa's son, is like training to be the next Santa, to be the 24th Santa, but he's having difficulties and he doesn't really want to be Santa. So anyway, he disappears. So Anna Kendrick, aka Noel, she ends up in her sleigh and with her little tiny pet reindeer snow cone. Oh, he's so cute, he's so cute. They end up in Phoenix, Arizona, looking for Nick, looking for her brother. And you know, she takes him back to North Pole, and he's not like not happy. But it turns out that Noel, Anna Kendrick, is that actually has the magical powers that Santa has, rather than her brother. So yeah, it's a bit odd, but so basically she becomes Santa. She takes over from her dad. So yeah, it's a bit of a weird movie. It's a bit odd in places, but it's still a very enjoyable kiddies movie, and it's got a good storyline with the Christmas happy ending that you want. My number 8 is Die Hard, with Bruce Willis and Alan Rickman, and I don't care what anybody says, Die Hard is a Christmas movie. And if you don't know about Die Hard, then where have you been? Go Google it. Nakatomi Plaza, man. I mean, like, It's a Die Hard. Die Hard is a Christmas movie as far as I'm concerned. So, nah. My number 7 favourite movie is Scrooged. It was made in 1988. It's got Bill Murray, Karen Allen, Bobcat Goldthwait, Carol Kane. There's quite a few like famous faces in there, you know. And this is sort of like a modern-ish take on obviously the original Charles Dickens A Christmas Carol book. In this movie, Bill Murray plays Frank Cross, who is a big TV executive for IBC, and he plans a live show, based all around the world, on Christmas Eve. The night before the show, he's visited by his ex-boss, who does the usual, you will be visited by 3 ghosts, blah, 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 sort of, as the book. And they are the ghosts of Christmas past, Christmas present, and Christmas future. Personally, I love the humour and the jokes, and I just laugh so much every time the ghost of Christmas present smacks him in the face with a toaster. It is that kind of humour in there, and it's funny, it's witty, and of course he sees the error of his ways, you know, but it can actually be a little bit scary in places, especially for like younger kids and stuff, but you know, it's still a very good adaptation of the original book. And also at the end it has the song by the Eurythmics, Put a Little Love in Your Heart, which it's a lovely song. And again, it's like the book, it's got the happy ending that everybody wants from a Christmas movie. My number 6 is The Nightmare Before Christmas, the Tim Burton animated classic from 1993. Halloween Town is a fantasy world with Jack Skellington, who's voiced by Chris Sarandon. So I keep doing that right. As the Pumpkin King. And while out walking through the forest, you know, he comes across all these other doors that lead to other fantasy worlds, and he ends up in Christmas Town. While he's there, he is fascinated by all the festivities and decides, I'm going to take this back to Halloween Town and make our own Christmas. There's his love interest Sally, like the sort of like ragdoll who's just like sewn together and stuff, and she tries to talk him out of kidnapping Santa, but unbeknownst to him, Oogie Boogie, who's like his giant sack scary thing, you know, Oogie Boogie actually does kidnap Santa. So Jack and Sally and us go out to save Santa and basically save Christmas. There's lots of awesome songs, brilliant animation, and though some of the scenes are a little bit more Halloweeny than Christmassy, you know, I still think it's a good family movie. My number 5 is How the Grinch Stole Christmas, made in the year 2000 with Jim Carrey and what's her name? Taylor Momsen as Cindy Lou Who. And this is actually based on the original Dr. Seuss book, The Grinch. The Grinch lives up on a mountain overlooking Whoville, and he hates everybody. He hates everybody because his heart is 2 sizes too small. And he especially hates Christmas. So he goes out one night and basically steals everything. You know, the tree, the hoobies, and everything, and takes it all back to his like cave on the mountain. Unfortunately, his plan backfires, and when he hears like all the people in Whoville still singing, you know, and it's sort of like he's like, well, you know, they're supposed to be upset and they're not. So like he's like, so he's like, right, he changes his mind, suddenly becomes a good Grinch, changes his mind and tries to return everything, but that goes a little bit wrong because it's sort of like, oops, and the sleigh goes out of control. It's quite funny, actually, especially with like Jim Carrey, because he just brings the Jim Carrey quality to the Grinch, and how he delivers like the one-liners and things is just absolutely fabulous. He brings the comedic yet also somber side to the character. And of course it has the sing-along songs that you just know you're going to sing along to. But again, it has that happy ending that Christmas movies, you know, people like. My number 4 is another adaptation of the original Charles Dickens A Christmas Carol book, but this one has the Muppets. Yay, it's a Muppet Christmas Carol, which was done in 1992. Gonzo is Mr. Dickens, along with Wizard of Oz, and they tell us the tale of Scrooge and all this, the whole story, you know, and it's brilliant. And Michael Caine is Scrooge. Well, yeah, he just throws himself into the role, and he is absolutely brilliant. I mean, you've got like Kermit the Frog and Miss Piggy as the Cratchits, and with other Muppets as ghosts and various other characters. You know, it's just like, it's a good Muppet movie. And being a Muppet movie, it has all the awesome songs in it that you just sing along. You know, you sing along. The one about like Mr. Scrooge, like "Hello, Mr. Humbug." That's my favourite song. That's my favourite song. And the Ghost of Christmas Present. Come in and know thee better, man. He's a big he's just a big Muppet, and he's lovely. I love it. So yeah, again, it's another all-round really good Christmas movie, a family movie. It's the Muppets. How can you not like the Muppets? My number 3 movie is the 2003 movie Love Actually. Now, I love this film because there's so many different characters in it, and each has got their own little Christmas story, and how like sort of they have the interaction, and it's just sort of like, it's just lovely, and it's sort of like it all comes together on one big overall story to show that love actually is all around. The highlights for me are Hugh Grant dancing down the stairs, Bill Nighy trying to sing his crap Christmas song, which is a version of Love Is All Around, and the kids' nativity scene, including lobsters. Now, this film is definitely not for youngsters because there is a lot of bad language and sexual scenes and that sort of stuff in it from the word go. I mean, the words that come out of Bill Nighy's mouth at the beginning is sort of like, oh my goodness. So if you're offended, don't watch it either. But it's still a great film. And it has lots of famous faces, and I just like it. Yeah. White Christmas from 1954 comes in as my number 2 favourite Christmas movie. It's got Bing Crosby, Danny Kaye, Rosemary Clooney, Vera Ellen, and it has language and ideas that are now considered like very outdated. But it has memorable songs, great dance routines, you know, I mean, Bing Crosby and Danny Kaye, they just sort of like, yeah, the dance routines and that in it are fabulous. So if you can look past some of the sort of like outdated stuff, it's still a lovely movie, and again, it has that happy ending that people like when it's a Christmas movie. And, drumroll please, my top favourite Christmas movie of all time is Miracle on 34th Street, the 1994 version, which is the remake of the original 1947 version. It's got Richard Attenborough as Kris Kringle, and it's got little Mara Wilson in it, and it is just yeah, it's just a nice Christmassy movie. I mean, Richard Attenborough is Kris Kringle, who is the real Santa, and he has to get like Mrs. Walker, Elizabeth Perkins, and little Mara, her daughter Susan, to believe in Santa, because they don't. So Santa has to get people to fall in love, save Coles the department store, and prove in court that he is actually the real Santa. It's an all-round lovely movie with a typical Christmassy feel to it, and it's just always been my favourite go-to Christmas movie. It's just, I mean, when they bring the reindeer in court, I like, that's so funny. But yeah, so Miracle on 34th Street, that is my all-time favourite Christmas movie. So that's my top 10 Christmas movies. There were a couple of others that didn't quite make it in, and some that I thought were just too dumb, like the Santa Claus movies with Tim Allen. Just like, why? Why did they make so many? Let me know in the comments below, what's your favourite Christmas movie? Happy holidays, everyone. You all take care, and I'll catch you in the next one. Okay, bye.